I can't do my hair. My arm hurts. Uh, really bad. Wow, dang. I can lift my arm up, but anyway, it's bad. Well, like we got looks like we had a white supremacist. That's what I think we had. Uh, or white nationalists that shot up that newspaper thing. Uh, so crazy sad. I mean, we've had a lot of shootings. It seems like it's almost monthly we have yeah, another shooting since Trump's been in office. You know, so sheesh. And the white like racists and like Pence and them, like they don't realize that yeah, Hitler and his scientists and probably big difference between Trump and some of his cronies is that they actually had, you know, at the least like 4 years of college or anyway. But like what? So one of the things they did when they were looking for a pure black race, they found it in Africa um, with albinos, and it really pissed them off. So like like so I think they just started rumor that if you take a limb from one of them, you could have I don't know, your dick would get hard or something. I don't know. Doesn't work that way. Whatever it is just and they even left like they like well, of course World War One and World War Two they was all in Africa, especially World War One, because they were stealing the rest of the gold and they had oil there, so they had to come get the oil and um, so we and also um, so they did find a superior race and they're black basically. Um, and that's one of the reasons why you attack the eating. Like we had a surplus of food um, somewhere after World War II or whatnot, and one of the main things is that Caucasians that were coming over from Europe after World War One, you know, they didn't have the job skills, or they just been fighting wars. What do they know? Or they were moving into cities and they were farmers. Well, black farmers were making a lot of money, so you go into the church and you get these people to go out of Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana and whatnot, and go to Kansas City, Kansas, go to Chicago, go to Detroit, and go to St. Louis, go to Boston, and work in the factories up there. And you know, and white people moving there like this is our heritage. But that didn't necessarily happen. A lot of people left people back home. It was, and then as soon as the black people, was making money, and like take Detroit for instance, it was really prospering. You have a fracture of America whites that will, just go in there and destroy. I mean, look at Detroit today. You know, so they sent all their business overseas to Vietnam, to China, Japan, the car industry, the music industry. They moved out of Detroit, moved it to California. Um, so they moved all what was making money for it, to take it out of the black people's hand. And this is something that Russians and other Chinese and other people recognize uh, our weakness and our faults there, because you could get ahead and attack the black people either by trying to privatize prisons, privatized the schools, um, and um, uh, right now, all these things, buying up property and raising the housing rate up, um, very active, and basically, um, you could see with Trump that he's sort of putting the cherry on top. And plus, we have seems like a lot of Republicans, because now, companies can lobby, big companies like the NRA, uh, just whatever companies that want to invest, Coca-Cola, and most of these companies now, if they're not franchised, they're just straight out bought out by, you know, um, um, other companies that might be affiliated with China, that might be affiliated uh, with another country, whoever it might be, you know, somebody in the Middle East, who knows? Um, and then and even the big guys in oil like Exxon and Shell and all them, they have a lot of investors, that don't have the best interests in the United States, and um, so you know you got white supremacists that I think that are attacking our Constitution by saying, like, how they are, they're projecting. Um, I think that what we're gonna find out. Oh, this is bad. It's just so hot. Of course, the Republicans are saying that it's not hot. I think in a way, like, they saw in the Bible, like there goes our freedom of speech with Pence. Uh, with Trump, there goes our first amendment, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, etc. Of course they're gonna fight to keep the Second Amendment because, um, uh, they, that they just can go do mass shootings. Um, so, and I think the white supremacists are really interested in starting a civil war. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know with who. It can't be during football and basketball season, not even baseball season. So, and we have an overly sex society. Um, so, and people still have to work, and so I don't see where anybody that I know it really it gives a fuck um, about civil war, separate white races. But I think really the realistic thing that's going to happen is that you have Mexico, you got Canada, you got England, you got France. Wait a minute, let me start over again. You got Canada, Mexico, London, France, Germany, um, Australia, uh, Haiti. I can't really think who Trump hasn't really. So there's a lot of countries that are against him, and his newfound friend in North Korea. I, he's a great leader. He probably has plans for Trump and Pence, and then they don't have. And as long as they all paranoid that somebody's gonna kill them or doing that, I think that you know just let them keep doing what they're doing and keep blaming other people. I mean, it looks like now that Trump has to get with Putin so they could uh, uh, get ahead and rig the other election. I think that that's what Trump's an illusion that he won because somebody voted for him. Yeah, I think personally, I think like 80,000 voted for him. Personally, that's what I think. I think that all the rest was a lie. But I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that did more than 80,000. I'm sure it's the same people coming to. He's still campaigning. You know, um, like it's 2016. I think it's because he could utilize money, campaign money, because one of the things with racist people, even victims of racist people, it's jealousy that really rules. So um um so yeah, I think they're going to get the war that they want, but I don't think it's with whom they want. Um, but regardless, citizens always are the casualty. Um, that's what, and so far, the Republicans and Trump have not showed any type of non narcissistic psycho type of behavior. And then Trump has also signs of yeah, who cares? He it doesn't matter because it's the people that's behind him that are stopping, trying to stop the investigation. Well, the Republicans are playing dirty games, and in a sense, since they've proven in Kansas, the state, that their ideas is a total failure, you know, um, that in such a way that we know that they're going to fall, that it has to fail because it's failing now because it's doesn't take in uh, the science, it doesn't take in the math, and it doesn't take in the human factor, and it doesn't take in the curve that we're not the only people um, that has a country where uh, there's egos and people think they're important and narcissists. We're not the only ones, and I think really what we're watching, and I think a lot of these like Pence and some of these other so-called Christians that try to deprive other people of their freedoms of religion, their freedom of speech, and just any civil rights or anything humane, they just try to deny. Um, and they real sensitive if you just like, no, leave me alone. Oh, we're here to fight, So I think that the North Korea, Russia have that in their favor that they're out there fighting, um, because they're not fighting the problem. They're just causing more problems. But anyway, like um, so uh, I think what I'm trying to say, well, like for example, with the religion, um, I think they want to start that, the populace or whatever, not whatever they call it, um, like to start it, like the Bible predicts the end of the world where it talks about, well, who knows what it talks about because it's been changed and rewritten so many times. But basically, if you want to read between the lines, if you want to take it as a warning, a history of a family, um, you know, and how uh, they made grievous errors, and how they had to go to war, and and other things like that. They made the grievous errors through um, malice, through jealousy, um, uh, through extreme laziness. Like let somebody else, like having slaves, let somebody else do the work, and I'll benefit, and then I'll punish that person even farther, right? Uh, uh, um, um, uh, and it just hate for nature and life. They don't respect life. They don't respect that every mammal will communicate if it's in pain. Will communicate if it needs food. They will. They have a high survival um, um, instinct. So they don't have any respect of life. Uh, so um, and the thing is they push back with anybody that wants to stay. So that's what I'm. That's the main difference between the Nazis and the white supremacists. The average soldier probably it's already just seen war um, over in that part of the country in Europe. But um, the big difference is that they did their homework, they read a lot, um, and they was able to recognize the mistakes and adjust. And then and back in those days it was a lot harder because of the way you had to communicate, the distance that it took to travel. It took longer. Um, so we have advantages. Um, uh, you know, so uh, um, so which is going to make for North Korea, for China, for Japan, uh, for Germany, for France, for Mexico, for Canada, Australia, uh, Haiti, Cuba, probably all of South America. It'll make it easier to manipulate and stroke their egos to cause more damage to the United States, opposed to uh, um, everybody working together and being more fruitful. Because they're gonna, in the world market, you're gonna have to do business. So I think that the people I just listed off, uh, and everybody in NATO that sees Trump now as uh, tearing apart an alliance that they had, and he's making. Well, North Korea's. I don't think they really would want to be bothered with white people, Caucasian people, or their religion, or anything. I think they always wanted you to respect them enough to understand that the same way that you like money, they like money the same way, you know, which you're not going to get from the Republicans. You're not going to get it from Trump. You're not going to get it from Pence. You're not going to get it from the people we have in office right now. But I do think that well, anyway, let me go back to what I was going to say about the Bible. If you listen, especially listen, if you had heard any old stories of the verbal passed down, um, that they predicted because of the greed, because of ignorance, really because of greed sometimes. breeds ignorance, jealousy, um, hatred, um, and a sense of entitlement. To be entitlement. So this right there, sexual, self-destructive behavior, and you tweak it with uh, uh, um, different triggers for some of these human beings caused by physical, it's either physical, sexual, physical, uh, like hitting, or both. Severe damage to at the early ages, where you're unconscious, it will act out, uh, you know, from the earliest young behavior, um, during your early development years. So so we have a society that's more prone to self-destructive because that's what narcissistic type of behavior is, which is caused from you teach people um, to give other people pain by as a very young child by giving um, them pain. Because lots of times I see mothers like they whoop their kid and they're like, "Oh, I'm only whooping you because I love you." This kid gets imprinted. Like they could be 1 years old. It gets imprinted in their psychic and their conscious that this pain is love instead of pain lets you know that there's something wrong. So already you have their a split, a schizoid type of reality because the reality, it hurts, you know, um, and usually the first tingles of love that a child has in the first early few minutes, it's not that of pain, and usually gentle touch, first feeding, to a newborn baby, that the feeding, the keeping their ass dry, and unchapped, you know, um, not that nothing sexual, but just keeping them full, hydrated, and information really stimulates true bonding and true. Well, not so much is bonding as much without the breastfeeding as with breastfeeding. As long as the mom empathizes with this child has only been in the world, maybe a couple of months, that they would not have the same type of experience or understanding that somebody, like say the mom's 25, somebody would have at 25, opposed to two months old. They just don't have the experience. They just haven't lived as long. And that's a hard reality for some people to comprehend and wrap their mind around, you know. So they continue the same behavior that maybe their parents did to them that they didn't like. So it's a vicious cycle. So anyway, so yeah, I think that the earth is, because of the pollution caused by uh, the carbon that we release extra into the air, into the water, the trash that we have in the ocean and the seas. All this is helping, and then like here we have a coal plant. So the hotter it gets, the more we're going to use our ACs, and fans and whatnot, right? And so the more the coal plant works, the more it works, the poor air quality, bad air quality we have, and you know, and the like, it's sort of the coal has a way of blocking out like the good rays and just leaving the harmful more rays, so you heat up more. So it's a continuous cycle, Because like once we found air conditioning, we were having air conditioning in our house, air conditioning in our car, air conditioning at work. You know, when we go out for entertainment, like to a restaurant, to a movie theater, to a dance club, whatever it might be. You know, we got accustomed to air conditioning, all the time. And then in the wintertime, we got accustomed to, using heat, electric, gas, however, you get it to your house. And all of these things that have increased without the really respect that the earth needs. Oh wow, it's 21 minutes. I'm in so much pain. Just well, anyway. So I think that global warming is real. I think that Trump and Pence and a lot of Republicans are very ignorant to the fact of what was really going on at World War One and World War Two. The bottom line is they were just trying to get rich, you know. And I've heard other stories about maybe things that white supremacists really think, it's no place near reality. It's not just reading like um, some like, oh, how to put an AR-15 together, but to really like for them to preach how they love the Constitution. Maybe they need to, really study it. Anyway, I'm out of here. It's almost a half an hour.